Hey everybody, hopefully you're there. This is our first real Axle Facebook Live. We only did one of these once before, a few years ago, on a Kickstarter that we did that we know many of you were on and took part of, and we appreciate your support during all that. So just know, like, we're pretty novice at this, and we're just getting our hands around doing Facebook Lives on all that. So you'll see us get a lot better at that, at this, super fast. So we're we're not professional live guys, so just know we're going to kind of stumble through this a little bit and screw around with you a little bit and answer questions for you and all the stuff. And we hope, we've had many people coming in saying, hey, what happened yesterday? We're sorry that we missed that one yesterday. We, you'll understand why, but we have been slammed. We have been slammed night and day with this campaign. We've we'll get into this a little bit later. We'll backtrack and share a little bit more with you first. But to kind of jump to the punchline a little bit, the number one reason that we've created this product line is because we've been hunters, shooters, outdoorsmen, power sports, all that stuff our whole life. And we've been in the hearing industry our whole life also. And we just freaking hate earmuffs. We sell earmuffs. We sell one of the nicest earmuffs on the planet, but we freaking hate earmuffs. And we love earbuds, and we'll go into that a little bit more here in a minute. But we just wanted a great set of earmuffs that would do away with a great set of earbuds that would do away with earmuffs, and that's the reason that we've created this product. So we have been working on this. Again, we'll get into this more through the course of Facebook Live, this event, and we'll be showing you more stuff on this ahead. But this has literally been, we launched Sport Ear. Many of you know us as Sport Ear. We launched that company back in the fall of 1999, if you can imagine. And then we evolved forward and we changed it a few years back, as most of you are aware, over to Axle because it allowed us to go a lot further outside of only hunting only, because we work with like awesome companies like Charlotte Motor Speedway, going into NASCAR, all that stuff, industrial, safety. There's just so many other areas beyond that, even tactical, professional shooters, law enforcement. We just needed to expand the brand and the story and how that connected and resonated with people. But we launched this back in 1999 as Sport Ear, took off, created a really premium name in the sporting good industry. And we've just been working on it ever since. So that was over 20 years ago. And now on Axle, on this new earbud that we've come out with, like we've literally had this in the works on our plate to do for 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like we've been wanting to do this for 15 years. Like Ray's family, my family have been friends since we were all grew up, 50 years ago, whatever it was, way back when in Provo, Utah, right? And I didn't see Ray for probably 20 years, and then he and I reconnected after about a year of me launching Sport Ear, and he's been with me since then, and he and I become business partners, and we have another great business partner, Ken Williams, that many of you guys have met, and met a lot of you guys out there on the road at trade shows and and hunts and different things out there. Look forward to meeting a lot more of you guys. But my history on this is I come from a hearing aid family who's been doing hearing aids, and also my dad, Robert Harris, was doing some of the very first full-color feature hunting films way back then, taking them around to the high school stadiums, charging, I think, a quarter or something for it.
And this is back in the 60s, right?
Yeah, 70s.
70s.
Yeah, so he was doing stuff in the 50s and 60s over in Africa, and polar bear hunts up in Canada, and everything going through there. In fact, if you were watching Jim Shockey's shows a few years ago, he was using some of that old timer footage, and that was my dad's, Robert Harris, who did those videos.
Amazing footage for that day and age and what he was able to accomplish and the kind of animals that were available at that time. Really, really neat. If you ever get a chance to see that, that's amazing footage for back then.
Well, that's perfect segue for Ray saying that, because my dad's been bugging me the last couple of weeks and telling me that he's finally found somebody who's done a phenomenal job of digitizing those, and he has two. He's got one that's the trophy, that's all North American hunting, and then he's got one of the African safari. And we'll probably kick those out to you guys on email here coming up in the next month or two and give you a phenomenal deal and offer on those just so that we can get them into your hands and you guys can watch some of that footage because it's super cool. And he's been bugging me about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got so much on our plate right now. You got to give me a chance to breathe. But we'll kick that out to you guys here before too long. So we have a ton of stuff to go through with you, but we're going to go through it very quickly today, and we'll elaborate more on it on future Facebook Lives. If you watch this, we're seeing the comments coming through right now, and we'll get to every one of these comments here in just a minute. And thank you guys for posting these comments. This is awesome to have you guys there. But we'll start doing a Facebook Live probably once a week, and we'll explain why here in a minute, and then we'll get into the GS Extreme Earbud on it. In light of what we're going through in the world around us with coronavirus and everybody, I mean, just a lot of angst and uncertainty and all that stuff. And we're, used to being out at trade shows and doing things that way. And we're not used to kind of being, kind of stuck and landed where we can't get out and meet with all of you at trade shows and all that stuff. So what we're going to be doing is we have been working our tail off with our technology suppliers and the companies that we work with and contract manufacturers to really start coming up with the most amazing freaking deals and offers we've ever come up with for all of you guys. And it's really like these are phenomenal deals that we could never get before, that we are working with our technology companies to do it right now. And how long it's going to last, it's probably going to last we're probably going to be doing this through the whole quarantine session. So as far as we can tell right now, it's going to be through the end of April, maybe a little bit longer. But we're really having technology companies step up to the plate big right now just to kind of keep things turning and keep stuff going. And they're working like awesome deals for us. We also don't have all the expense of traveling and going out and doing all the trade shows that are super expensive. And so that allows us to kind of cut our margin down a little bit more and pass that savings on to you. So if you guys stay with us for the next, next 2, 3, 4 weeks, you're going to see us developing this all the way out. And part of the reason that I mentioned like launching this in 1999 is some of you who have been with us for a while know that the original name of the sport ear company was Harris Quest, back when it was cool to name, your brand after your own family name on it. And the whole reason for that, Harris Quest was the product, and then, or the brand, and Sport Ear was the product line, right? And the whole purpose of Harris Quest is so that we could be able to go farther outside of hearing when we were ready to. And so just a little teaser on that. We've mentioned this in our email the last few days. If you stick around, we'll, over the next week or so, we'll give you an exact launch date, and we will introduce you to a whole new side of Axle that we have been literally waiting like 20 years in the works to launch this. And you're about to see like how phenomenal our partners in the sporting good industry are. Like, we have awesome freaking partners.
We really do. We've been blessed to be a part of this industry as a whole, but over the last 17, 18 years, just the relationships we've made, big relationships that we've made for a small company that we are. But when you're doing as many trade shows and on the road as much as we are, we've made great friends and just have had a blast in the industry. We've gotten to do some amazing hunts. We go to some very top-end ranches throughout the whole country, and also even out of the country. We've been able to do some amazing things. And so we're really glad to be a part of it. We're really glad that you guys are on here with us, and we're excited about this new product along with all the other products we're currently doing. But we're just having fun.
And we're about to really start having the level of fun that we've been looking forward to for 20 years. I mean, we've had a lot of fun, and we've made a lot of amazing friends and met a lot of cool people in the sport ear time. And now it's accelerating rapidly on Axle, and the response and the reception to the Axle change. Like, nobody ever wants to change a brand, and it's very painful, and it was very painful for me, and I think it was far more painful for the rest of the company, kind of watching me kind of force us on stuff, but like we had to. And like when you see, like, I mean, big companies like NRA and some of the top gun companies that I'm not going to name right now, we're going to wait until we get a little farther down. But many of you know us from Front Sight. You know, we have a good section of the Front Sight Pro Shop down there where we just test and fit high-end hearing aids and with protection in them and all that stuff. You know, for the largest gun facility, training firearm facility on the planet. You know, and those guys are awesome. We look forward to doing a lot more with them in the future. So the response and reception to Axle has been awesome, and it has done exactly what it needed to do of allowing us to branch further to be able to help more people outside of just hunting only, even though hunting and shooting is our passion, and our core focus will always be hunters, shooters, and preppers, because that's who we are at heart. That's the whole space that we're in. You can't be in Utah and not have a little bit of prepper in your blood. That's just kind of the way it is out here, right? Everybody knows Utah is big on food storage and
I
all
got to
kinds
tell
of
you,
stuff. So.
we have an employee here who is the prepper of all preppers. In fact, he's been on TV shows. He's had everybody you can think of end up down at his place, and eventually we'll get him on here because he's a treat to listen to and watch as well. So just prepping you for a prepper.
And some of you have met him. It's Pete Larson, and he's a long time great family friend, you know, to both of us, and great personal friend to both of us. And Pete is like one of America's rare individuals, and he's freaking awesome. And anytime we come up with new prepper deals, like he's going to be the one doing those prepper deals with you. So we'll have a lot of fun with these Facebook Lives and getting stuff out to you. You will be seeing more emails from us. We haven't done a lot on email over the years. We usually send out one or two things a month at most, but we will start doing a lot more. But we, on that note, are committed. I have people who send me a lot of emails every day and people who don't send me a lot of emails every day. We'll send 1 to 2 a day at most, and 6 days a week. We'll never harass you on Sundays because that's our own family time and faith and family and all that stuff. And so we'll leave that time, you know, respect that time for you guys as well. But we'll be sending you a lot of really cool stuff, and we promise you that we will continually make our interactions with you, whether it's email or any other method. We promise that we will make those some of the highlights of your day to make those as cool and fun and engaging as possible. So on that note, let's jump into the GS Extreme. What we're going to do is we're just going to do a quick unboxing of it right here, go through and show you all the basics of it, and then we are going to go through and answer the questions that we have here on a sheet, as well as the ones that we're seeing coming through here. And we'll get to everybody on this thing, and then we'll wrap it all up. So here's the GS Extreme. Just show you that right there. Get my bearings straight here. So that's it. You see it's Bluetooth. We put 29. I'm not used to doing things backwards here. But we're 29 decibels on it. We actually could be saying 32, but for the sake of legalities and playing it on the conservative side, we say 29, which most earmuffs, again, we're going to reference earmuffs largely because that's the reason we created this product line. Again, back to it, you know, I've been a hearing specialist, had as many as 60 hearing clinics at any given time, had as many as 40 to 50 audiologists, hearing specialists working for me at any given time. I've also been, you know, heavy in the outdoors on stuff, and I've also been a tremendous earbud junkie. I ask Ray, how many earbuds do I have in my truck at any given time over the last 20
Actually,
years?
I bought his truck years ago, and when I bought his truck, you know the little opener thing right there where you put change and whatever? Most of that, he didn't dump that out before he took it. Most of that was filled with every kind of earbud you could think of. Yeah, so he's tried them all.
Yeah, from $10 earbuds to $50 earbuds to $300 earbuds to $500 earbuds to $1,000 and $1,500 earbuds. Like, I usually have 10 to 20 pairs of earbuds in my truck at any given time, and Ray always knew that if he was short on earbuds, he'd grab a pair out of my truck anytime we went on a hunt or whatever.
Plus, I'd have to clean them first. They're a little bit nasty.
That's right. They weren't that nasty.
Go back to you showed everyone the 20. Oh boy, the 29 decibel noise reduction rating. So what that number is, if you guys don't know, it's always abbreviated by an NRR. So that's a noise reduction rating. So that's what this brings the sound down by. A lot of people get confused on what that number is and what it stands for, but it's what the decibel noise reduction rating is.
Yeah, so on that note, we'll just take it piece by piece on it. Most people don't realize, I mean, every time we talk to people, I mean, you'd be surprised how many people don't know that, how many hunters and shooters don't know that there's electronic earmuffs in today's world. Like, that's pretty amazing that we're still, I mean, because we've had those since late 1970s, right? And there's still a lot of people who don't understand that you can get stuff to hear and protect at the same time. So we'll educate you on one little point on this, on the 29. Like, most people don't realize that there's two levels of hearing protection, two types of hearing protection. The first one is what this is referring to. That 29 decibel noise reduction rating, that is just for the physical plug. You put a physical plug in your ear, and that dampens that sound wave coming through by that many number of decibels, by 29 decibels, right? And the thing about when we have to put this number on the box, like that's a median, meaning like that's the average. And so when we go in and we have to submit these in for a test to be done, like people could be going in and putting these in opposite ears, or they could be putting them in upside down backwards, or they could be not even getting it into the ear canal. And that still counts as a test. So if you actually do it right and follow the instructions and pay attention to what's going on, like that's you'll be getting a lot more hearing protection than what these are, because these are the median for everybody who does it perfect to does it really doesn't even do it at all. So the NRR refers to that physical plug in your ear. Now the second type of technology that's a little less familiar to people, but more of you will still know this, is the technology shutoff. So when you're dealing with technology or electronics of any kind, obviously this isn't relevant to earplugs or non-electronic products, but if it has technology in it, then you also want to make sure, like, what is the shutoff on it? Is it 85 decibels, 90 decibels, 95 decibels? Meaning that when a sound enters into that earbud or that technology, that when it comes back out and goes into your ear, that loud sound has been limited down to 85 decibels of sound or 90 decibels of sound. So you always want to watch and make sure that you're getting good numbers on those two things: the physical plug value of the NRR rating, as well as the technology shut off to keep that compressed to a certain level for you to save your hearing, right?
And OSHA's standard is an 85 dB, so that's kind of the benchmark of protecting your hearing.
Yep, yep. That's an important benchmark. So as you come onto here, we're doing Bluetooth. You know, the best thing that we can say here is the connectivity is awesome. We wouldn't put our name on it until we got the connectivity the way we wanted it. So trying it out in the mountains, in open spaces, around power lines, down at the fitness gyms, out on motorcycles, sticking it in our pocket, like whatever it was, we wouldn't put our name on the product and we wouldn't finalize the product until we had really great connectivity. And where a lot of the earbuds that you see in by leading brands out there for wireless earbuds in Best Buy or wherever, you know, we're still on a 4.0 Bluetooth technology or 4.2. We insisted and waited to where we could do it with the latest 5.0 on it, and we'll always keep the latest, greatest version of Bluetooth technology in it. You know, once it's become stable, once that Bluetooth level has become stable, we won't jump in on early adoption on it because it doesn't make sense. It's not stable yet. But once it becomes stable, then we'll always raise up to the latest, greatest version of it, because that's what we want for ourselves. Again, you know, every product that we've created in the Axle line, we've created from scratch. One or two have been simple redesigns to make it better than what a company that we were working with had. Like our earplugs, that's a redesign to make it better than what was out there before, our XP Reactor and Defender. That's a lot better. Many of you have taken us up on that promo that we've been doing also. Those are awesome earplugs. So yeah, that's the deal on that. Did I miss anything? I kind of jump track on any thought.
No, I think
Got it
we're
covered.
good now. If we, just kind of show what what it looks like. I think. Guess we probably should have opened one of those before.
Yeah, it's really not that hard. It's just a little thing right here. So just open it up. Packaging super nice on it. This is what you get in it. You get a you get a nice quick start. This is all pretty simple. So just gives you a nice simple instruction guide to show you exactly what you're getting, exactly what's going on. Gives you a nice case that's not too tight. It's a good durable case to throw in your pack or your shooting bag or whatever. Gives you a USB to micro USB cable that's right included in there so that you can charge those up. And then it gives you extra tips for silicone earbuds. Gives you a little clip right there that you can put on the back wire, so you can clip it to the top of your ball cap, back there, or to the top of your shirt, whatever you want. And then this one right here on the foam tips gives you a selection of small to medium tips. So anytime that you want just general listening audio, you can always go to the silicone ear tips. But anytime that you want that hearing protection, always just go with the foam tips. Foam is so much better because it's filled with hundreds of different little air pockets inside. So when the sound wave goes into those, it just redirects it, bounces it out, and breaks it up on it. So foam actually is the very best hearing protection you can get. Just side note for any of you who don't know that. And so that's what you get on that. And then you can put the earbuds lay in there perfectly, also for storage.
Yeah, that's a great little carrying case. I mean, it's not a softie. It's actually got some durability to it.
Yeah, everything that we do, again, we stress everything that we do, we design for ourselves. We don't ever go anywhere and just say, oh, just give us a product that we stamp our name on it. Like every single thing we do, we either design or we redesign to our satisfaction for what we want for our own activities, because then we know that it's going to work well for everybody else. And we work with a lot of people, from professional hunters to Navy SEALs to tactical. When we put something and we say tactical on it, it's because we've really run it through the mill with tactical professionals that you'll be seeing coming into our Facebook Lives and our other videos and things that we're doing in the future. Like, we're not just throwing that on there as a marketing tagline. Like, we'll let those guys speak for themselves in the weeks and months ahead, telling you why they work with Axle. You can see a small handful of them right now on our YouTube. Guys like Dom Rosso, Tony Sentmanat at Real World Tactical. I mean, these guys are pretty candid with us about what's good and what's crap. Like this NRA thing that we just got in the American Rifleman in the April issue from Joe Kurtenbach, chief editor at the NRA. Like he's very candid. These guys are awesome, and they're very candid about, no, you're not even close. Like, that sucks. Or, hey, you're getting closer, but it's not there yet. Or, yeah, you're finally there. Like, this is amazing. This is awesome. So when you guys see claims that we make on that, it's not just marketing claims. We have more than enough proof and more than enough people backing those statements to validate that we've really created great products for outdoor sportsmen, shooters, hunters, enthusiasts, so on. So take it away.
Okay, so this is actually the device itself. It's based on a lanyard. As Weston explained, you've got a few different sizes and also styles of tips, from the foam tip, which is going to give you the most amount of protection, to the silicone tip. That's personal preference on what you're using it for and how much protection and sound you want in it. What's amazing about these is they are Bluetooth, so you get the hearing enhancement, the hearing protection, and Bluetooth all in one. That's a pretty neat combination. I use them, as far as the music goes, I use them at the gym, I use them mowing the lawn, I use them anywhere where you're just wanting to listen to music and that type of thing. So this side is what runs your Bluetooth. So you've got your Bluetooth button right here, then you got your volume up and down, and also is what turns it on. And then on this side over here is where you've got the hearing enhancement, hearing protection side. It's got a little toggle to turn it on, and then volume as well. It's a lanyard device, so it's just behind the ear. You've got a left and a right, and absolutely amazing. Just in a shooting application, you can hear everything that's going on. You can talk to everyone else. You can have normal conversation. You can actually be whispering because you've got a volume control on it. Um, and then when that sound hits 85 decibels, which is we were talking about before, which is OSHA's standard for protection, when it hits 85 decibels, it compresses automatically. And then on the other side of that, again, the enhancement side, where you can hit the volume and you can actually enhance your hearing quite dramatically. And then again, the awesomeness of being able to listen to music.
That all that cool. So we'll show you a couple things on here. A couple things that I love on these things is, when we go through this on it, I'll tell you my own personal philosophy because as the founder of the company and the main innovator behind the line, like we're always working and talking together about what works. So innovation comes from all of us, but I'm really the one who always takes the lead on it from the hearing specialist side on my experience of fitting 30,000 people in my retail clinics with hearing aids and not being able to find good ear products out there that we wanted. And so we really wanted to take that expertise and bring it over to ear products. So I just want to call out a few things to you. Like if you get in with any of the technology companies that we work with, all of our high end we manufacture here on our own right in Salt Lake City, as you guys know. All of our high-end custom fit hearing enhancement protection, like we're insistent on maintaining that ourselves. On our new Bluetooth hearing aid product line with protection, Bluetooth, all that, like those are the coolest earbuds on the planet. And the company that we've teamed up with for the Bluetooth is like the very best in the world of hearing aids. So, but we control all of that right here in Salt Lake. Some of the other things that we do, we can't even do it here, like what we can do in other places. And so we get out with them and we design and work with contract manufacturers who are the very best in the world at what they do. And they're awesome. Like we have really great partners, but they will tell you like anytime I get into developing a product with them, um, I never cut corners. Like I never ever, like nobody in 25 years has ever heard me say, do the cheapest thing you can, the cheapest thing that we can get away with. Like that's not our philosophy. And that's core. That's one of many reasons why we've developed such a great leading brand in the Axle Sportier name, is because we really have focused on doing the very best that we can, and that's always the same thing that I say forever. Like when I'm talking with technology companies and I'm sourcing and we're going through every little last part of what's happening, the only phrase that comes out of my mouth is, I want the very best inside of it that we can do for the price that we're charging. That's our philosophy. We want it to be a killer product for us so that we can use it and that we're happy with it in our own lives. And we want the very best components and technology in it that we can possibly put in there for the price of the product that we're charging. That's always our philosophy. I haven't done a good job of reaching out to our crowd, to all of you guys over the years of getting your input from product, although we do get a lot from people just talking with people day to day. But we haven't done a lot of that by Facebook or by email or whatever. We'll start reaching out to you all a lot and saying, hey, how can you help? What do you want us to do? How can we make this better for you? How can we address things? We're seeing one on here from Scott. Thanks for throwing that in there, Scott. Taking me a minute to get to it. But what is the IPX rating on this? They're not waterproof. These have on a rating on it. I'll get your rating on it. I don't have that in front of me. But they're not waterproof. They are very water and sweat resistant. And so we've used these many times up in the prototyping stage up in Canada, on duck hunts, on waterfowl hunts. Like we've used those all the time, but it's not like our high-end hearing aids where you can drop it in water for an hour or two and pull it back out with the waterproofing and then go ahead and use it again. It's not like that. But as long as you take reasonable care of this, you can wear it in rain, bad conditions, anywhere you want. And when you get back home, whatever, just take a cloth, wipe it down good, wipe everything down good, and you'll be good to go. And these are very, very durable. We've been using these for variations of these and this type of technology for a long time. It is very durable. You can absolutely use it duck hunting, waterfowl hunting. I'm noticing that Dylan out there, thanks for your question on it, that these will work great for you. We got a lot of people have been using these and prototypes of these for quite a while, out duck hunting, water hunting, and they love them. Absolutely love them. So another question on there from Sheldon. Thanks for throwing that out there. We've put on there all the way along that our next shipment of these, our first real major shipment of these, all perfect and done, comes April 10th. Give or take a day or two or three at most, but we've received confirmation on that all the way along, and even again this morning that everything's on track for that. So we'll get them in, we'll hurry and turn them and get them out to you as quickly as possible. That being said, we've sold way more of these in our first in the last week than what we ever anticipated. Like, we know we're going to sell a ton of these because the demand is so huge of people who want to do away with earmuffs. So we know this is a big product, and we've been preparing for it and all that, but we had no idea that the launch would be what it is. It's literally been 5-6 times what we anticipated, and so we appreciate that. We totally appreciate you guys all supporting us on this launch like that. It means a big deal to us. We totally appreciate all of your business, all of your support over the years. That's helped us keep working on turning this into the business and the vision that we've always hoped and believed that it could become. So thank you all for that. That's pretty awesome. So back to the things that we want to highlight on it. Like, if you look at this again, going back to all the earbuds that I've tried, and there's just so many details. Like, even when I go up to Best Buy and look at things, like, they just don't put the extras into it, and we've really gone overboard to put the extras into it. So the cabling that's on there, like, it's a super nice cabling. Like, the finish on it, the durability on it is awesome. We've kicked this out to some of our Navy tactical guys. They've come back in and they said, look, this cord is like pulling out. And so we went back in and really reinforced it inside really well, and we coated everything more inside waterproofing wise to make it as waterproof, water resistant as we could, and to make that seal on everything like really tight, really good, and then to coat it properly so that we can really have it be a good quality piece. Have that little seal right there be, that's hard to see right there, but that's where you plug in the micro USB to recharge it up. So you just plug in your micro USB side of that cable that we showed you earlier. This is a battery where you charge it up on it, give everything, and then like Ray said, that's where the Bluetooth pairs and turns the volume up and down. Secured everything very tight inside of there. We haven't had any issue with that coming out on anybody that we've sent it out to for over a year, well over a year. So we're convinced that we've got that, totally solid.
Give them a charge time and a length of charge.
Okay, I've got that on questions that are coming up next, so we'll definitely hit that. But if you look at that, like, when you guys get these in your hands and you look at them, just take a minute and look at them, and you'll realize, like, everything that we did from that cable, the quality of that cable, we went through multiple variations of that cable to make it like totally durable yet slick and sleek and nice and well designed. And the earbud, the way that we've angled everything, put it all together. Like, you get a lot of these wireless earbuds out there. I won't name names here. You'll all know exactly who I'm talking about, but it won't stay in the ear. It doesn't seal in the ear. It doesn't give good sound quality. And yet these are like leading brands, and we're like, how in the world can a company be, tens of billions of dollars a year, billions of dollars a year or whatever, and they don't stop and slow down and pay attention to getting a good fit? Like, where we started wanting to develop these is we couldn't get earbuds that fit properly, that would stay in our ear no matter what our activity was, hunting, hiking, biking, shooting, cycling, fitness, like whatever, right? We couldn't get the audio really good from a lot of the earbuds that we were trying, even really high-end ones. So it's like audio quality, stay in your ear, fit, and then and wireless. We've been wanting to do wireless forever, but most of our guys prefer a lanyard because they want times where they can just take it out and let it hang around their neck on it. And everything that we've pulled on it is we're getting like 20 to 1 who really prefer a lanyard so that they can take it out and let it hang. And it's awesome because you can just tuck it under your shirt when you want, have it out of the way, right? So that's been awesome. And then the big thing on it is to have everything inside of it, right? To have every feature inside of this, like what you have in electronic Bluetooth earmuffs, only now down inside of a small set of earbuds. And so, like, you've got hearing enhancement, as Ray was pointing out, you got hearing enhancement protection on this side that you control on this side, and you've got the Bluetooth version on this side. And if you guys have been reading some of the emails, like that's my favorite personal feature from all the earbuds I've tried. I freaking love it. I absolutely love it because I can go into any setting and I can dial it in and I can say, okay, I want to be hearing really great right now, but I still want a little bit of audio connected there. Or I can go vice versa, like I really want to be hearing the audio really well right now, but I still need to keep some situational awareness hearing going there too. And so to be able to control those independently is freaking awesome, and you guys are going to love it, and it works well. Like that took us a long time to get those two technologies blended and balanced the right way. And we've been there for the last year, so we've just been tightening up, detailing it, lining it up, getting it better and better. And we've been well dialed in on this for a while, long before this launch that we're doing right now.
And they have so many applications. I know we keep pushing the hunting and shooting side of things, but it just goes on forever. Landscaping, basic things you do around the house, all those kind of things. These have been amazing, and they're durable. I've wadded mine up and stuck them in my front pocket, pulled them out, they're ready to go. I've done some desert racing stuff on my Razor. They can handle the dust. I mean, I get covered in dust wearing those, listening to music and so on and so forth. So if you have any thoughts and worries about that, they're not tough, they're tough.
Yeah, and again, you know what Ray's talking about, like, I mean, power sports, motorcycling, power tools, fitness gyms, I mean, you name it, air travel, airplanes. Like the thing that we're getting now, the last few months that we've started just selling a few of them and getting a few of them out the door is like we're going down to shooting ranges, going up to hunting clubs, duck hunting clubs, skeet shooting, all these different places, and we're giving them out. People are understanding them as head muffs. But when we go back on the follow-up, they're like, our whole crew now is using these as their go-to ears. Like they're using these for everything. And the other thing that I've mentioned just recently, one of the things that's super cool about these two, those are like the nicest TV ears you can ever get. So instead of wearing all that big, goofy contraption stuff for listening to the TV, you can put these in, and if your TV's Bluetooth, you can connect up on Bluetooth. If it's not Bluetooth, you just throw these on, turn your hearing up to where you want, and you'll be able to hear your TV freaking awesome. You'll be able to hear your neighbors, fighting back and forth or whatever's going on next door, right? Like you'll be able to hear everything if you want to. Or you can turn them all down and you can control it down. And just to reiterate right here, like, I'm going to say this as correctly as I can, but you do have a spouse feature here, so you can turn your spouse up or down if you want to.
The number one question we get asked.
Activate that for you, just a warning, if we activate that for you, like we do charge a little bit more for that feature, just so you know.
The number one question we ask, can you turn my wife off?
That's right. Notice I said spouse, right? So if you went with her listening, you can do the same thing for your husband. You just need your own pair. And if you want us to, we'll do it in a different color for you as long as you tell us what color you want. We'll probably do a quiz here coming up in the next month as far as like what would be the most awesome woman's color. And we're going to start doing a lot more contests and giveaways. We've done a lot of awesome giveaways, as you guys know. We've done a lot of freaking awesome giveaways, and we've got a lot more coming. And contests, all of you what you guys don't know right now is we're going to be doing an awesome contest on these earbuds for all of you who get into these right now. Like you're going to automatically be entered into this contest that we do in June. I won't announce the details on it, but I will tell you there's going to be a pretty decent cash prize to it, and so you're going to want to pay attention to it and get involved with us. And we're going to ask you to take basically a little 30-second, 45-second video with your smartphone, but we're going to leave the detail to it until we're ready to launch that. But it's super freaking cool, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it on the videos. And the videos that we're going to be asking for are as outrageous as you can get, right? So any of you who get a pair of these, hang on to it and stay tuned for our contest, because we're going to want to get outrageous videos from you along a very certain line that we'll tell you about later. But we'll start doing a lot more contests, giveaways, really cool deals, offers on things that are Axle branded, to our core product line, but then we'll be coming up with other things from amazing partners that we have in the sporting good industry also. So that'll be a blast. We'll tell you in the next week again what the date is of when we're going to do a Facebook Live and announce, what we're doing, what's going on there. That's going to be super cool. So again, just when you get these, take a look at it. You'll appreciate everything. These are going to fit awesome in your ear. They're going to stay in your ear no matter what your activity is. They're going to give you killer audio. The audio on these is unbelievable. I mean, for the price point, it's really top-notch audio. And comfort, being able to wear it all day long with hats, glasses, being able to wear it in wind noise, like all that stuff is pretty awesome. So here's a couple other questions that we'll start just hitting through really quickly. Number one question over and over and over, can I really replace my big bulky earmuffs with these new earbuds? Yes, you can. You're going to get 50%, up to 50% more hearing protection out of these little earbuds, because number one thing that you want to know about protecting your ears is seal that ear canal off. All the earmuff companies have been saying for decades that you got to go in here, and if you have that big bulky earmuff on there, that it's going to give you more hearing protection against bone conduction, right? Like many of you have heard that, the bone conduction, right? So is that true? Well, sure. If you go out there and you put that on there, it's going to give you some more protection against bone protection, but bone is not the fastest place where sound is traveling through. The fastest place, of course, I mean, anybody can realize this, is straight down through that air canal, in your ear canal, into your inner eardrum. That's where all the damage happens, and the fastest, least path of resistance is right through your ear canal. So for their theory to hold, like, you would have to be taking a 2-inch piece of foam and wrapping it around your whole head and your neck and your chest and everything, because just as what they're saying that sound can travel through the bone, it can also travel through your eyes, it can travel through your nose, it can travel through your mouth, it can travel through all these different areas, front and back of your head, and even up through here, depending on the direction of the sound and what's going on there, right? So, and to prove my theory out to you, you don't have to take my word for it. I've said this before on emails and in person and whatever. Like, go down to a shooting range and watch the guys who have really good sealed ear protection in their ears, and watch guys who are wearing traditional earmuffs, and you'll see that the guys who are still wearing traditional earmuffs, unless they're like the gigantic earmuffs that stick out to like here, right? But when those guys get into it, you'll see that the guys who are wearing traditional earmuffs are still flinching. And the guys who aren't, and they're wearing really good sealed ear protection down in there that really seals their ear off, they're not flinching. Like, most people don't realize, one of the number one, if not the number one reason that people flinch when they shoot isn't so much that they're scared of the gun. It's actually because of the pain that happens like that in a fraction of a millisecond on their eardrum, and that inner ear is like the most painful part of the whole external body. Just ask anybody who's had Ray do ear molds on them. They'll tell you, like, that's the most painful part of it all, because you get down and you start poking around on the eardrum, all that. It's very sensitive. It's why in warfare they would go through and very maliciously ram bamboo shoots down people's ear canal, because the pain of it is, you take the strongest guy in the whole world and make him cry like a baby and beg for mercy when you get on that eardrum. And we do it every year at a trade show. So if you want that experience, come see us at one of the trade shows.
We do it non-painful.
we do it better than anybody does. So yeah, that's just a little bit of information. You want to keep that ear sealed off and protected well.
And remember, at the end of the day, this is the head muff without the muff. So to answer that top question, it is the head muff without the muff. Tiny, easy to use, small, not big, obnoxious, with more protection.
That's the whole reason we developed it. So, is to get rid of the earmuffs. We freaking hate earmuffs. Although I always have a pair of trackers in my center console in my truck, because they're good for durability and just having a pair on hand.
Oh, yeah.
I always have a pair in my truck, but it's earbuds that we love the most. But I'm going to show you this. This is the number one thing that we see with people when they first get these. This is the number one issue that we see with people. People will go on and they'll put it on their ear. I'm going to get up here so you see this. And they'll pop it in their ear, and they'll even get this part right too, right here. But then they'll just kind of let this sit out like that. So pay attention to this. This is the number one thing that we have. And then people call up and say, hey, it's not protecting my hearing. It's not doing what it needs to do. All you need to do is take your finger and just get used to it and just push it up in there. Get the right foam tip on the end of it. Make sure you got the right size foam tip on it. And just give it a good push up in there and make sure it's sealed on it. And then always do that hand clap test, before you go out there and fire off your 50 cal or your 9mm, or your 45, handgun, whatever it is going on. Just make sure that you got a good seal. Do that hand clap test on it so that you're not getting out there and not having it situated right. And once you have that done and you have that locked down, like I can sit here and do anything I want with this, as long as I get this one in here right. Like, get over here. I'm not used to doing things backwards. Right? I can sit here and turn around. I could jump. I can do cartwheels. I can do anything I want. And in a second, an AirPod or anything else would have been gone like that. Like, that's not going anywhere. I could sit there and I could wrestle with my kids. I could, wrestle with a dog. I could do anything I wanted to. I could hike mountains. I can do anything I want. Like, that's not going anywhere. I can run on exercise equipment, whatever it is that's going on, like you get that pushed in and locked in like that, like that's not going anywhere. And then we just put some nice finishing touches on it to like that. Like, I'm surprised how many earbuds I see out there and they don't even have something as simple as a little cinch like that. So not only do you have the little clip for the ball cap or the shirt, whatever you want, but you've also got this. You can just pop that into place, cinch that in the back so that whatever you're doing, it's like no big deal on it. Pop that in there. So everything that we've done, we've just gone through overboard to make it awesome. Can I wear these under passive or electronic head muffs and still get the amplification factor? Yes, you can. You can wear these under earmuffs if you want to. And we know that some people double up between earplugs and earmuffs, but on this one, with the foam ear tips on it and it being what we've needed, I've never seen or heard of anybody needing to double up with this one. So yes, you could wear earmuffs over the top of it if you were in a crazy situation, but we haven't seen that yet. So just always say it's your hearing. You want to keep your hearing as good as possible. So tread lightly always and find out what's the best balance for you on it. It's always the best advice. We have 5 to 10% of people who have super sensitive hearing and they need to double up when they go in a shooting range or whatever, whereas most of the rest of the people don't on it. So find what works for you and stick to it. How does it work? I think we've answered that question, showing Ray went through that pretty well, how they work. Do they connect to a smartphone? Yes, they do connect to a smartphone. And they have 2 different speakers in them. They have one speaker out here that is that's your hearing enhancement speaker. And so you've got one on each side, of course, so that you get good stereo sound, directionality of sound on it. And you can hear the hearing enhancement the way that you want to. And then for your smartphone to have that pick up, you've got the speaker right there that picks up your smartphone and transfers over to your smartphone. So super cool. If you're out hunting, some people, I've mentioned this in an email earlier, some people like music when they're out hunting, some people don't. Ray always makes fun of me because I always have my earbuds out there, but I notice the older he gets, he wears them more in tree stands and other things too. And, the biggest moose bull that I've ever shot and was when I was, Sunday morning listening to George Strait on my earbuds. And, I just figured that's like the coolest thing in the world to bring the big bulls and big bucks in, and it always works. So that's super cool. You can have your phone and connect on smartphone and do anything you want to with smartphone for fitness, music, audiobooks, any of that stuff. Super
They
cool.
understand that they can also, obviously they do, but answer your phone. When everything else is going on, somebody calls in, click the button, answer your phone.
Awesome. So are they good for shooting and hunting? I know how I would answer that. I'm going to let Ray answer that one for you.
Oh, yeah, they are absolutely amazing. Nobody wants to have those big, and again, we sell those head muffs, but nobody wants to have those great big, hot, sweaty head muffs when you're hunting. They're just obnoxious. They're in the way. Everything on this is so small, so discreet, and the quality behind it is just absolutely amazing. So Absolutely.
Do you know any big game hunter out there who takes head muffs with them?
They take
I
them
do
with them,
not
but
know.
they do not use them. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of like it's in their bag as their steady, but I've yet to ever see anybody, unless they're, taking that one shot that's your practice shot before. But other than that,
Yeah, if they're
as
sighting in the gun,
yep,
yeah, they're always wearing it on sighting in guns. But when they're out actually in the real hunt of it,
mm-mm,
never.
no.
How many people do you see wearing these when they're out hunting and doing stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just such an
Everybody does.
easier play. It's so much smaller, so much. It's just the right product for that application.
Yeah, and these are designed. I mean, that question, are they good for hunting and shooting? I mean, that's why we developed them. That was the core reason we developed them for ourselves, was for hunting and shooting. All the extra things were extra bonuses, but we developed these for our own hunting and shooting. That's why we developed them. And we developed them for all day wear. You're going to hear tons of testimonials from people coming on talking about how they wouldn't even wear any type of electronic hearing enhancement protection ever. And now all of a sudden they put these in, and they're down in Africa, they're up in Alaska, they're wherever, and they're wearing them all day long with hats on, glasses on, whatever, and they forget very fast that they're even wearing them because they're so darn comfortable. I mean, these are freaking awesome. You guys are going to see tons of testimonials out there coming through. So
And you just put them on. The old way of doing things where you either had the little foamies or whatever, or the passive head muffs where you've got them on and then somebody's trying to talk to you, so then you pull them off to listen to what they're saying, then somebody cracks off a shot, blows your ear out again, and then it's that whole these you just put on. You can have normal conversation, you can hear everything that's going on, you can enhance your hearing if that's what you need and want to do. For those guys who, like all of us, have been exposed to some serious hearing damage, that helps on that as well. So for all purposes, these are amazing.
yeah, cool. Here's a good one. Will these correct my hearing loss? We always have to be careful because the FDA says that when we say that these will correct your hearing loss, that we're saying that we're going to restore your hearing back to normal. That you put this product in, it's going to restore your hearing. It's going to fix everything that's broken inside of your inner ear and restore it back to normal. Well, 99% of people out there are rational and they realize like that's never going to happen. But 1% out there actually think that something magic's going to happen and they're going to get their hearing back like when they were kids. So no, it doesn't do that. But yes, you can absolutely use this for a hearing aid for the purposes where you want to. If you want to hear it for general TV listening, conversation around the house, whatever, you can turn this up to the point where you want it to, and you're going to be hearing awesome with it. And so, there's been a lot of people who have bought a cheap $39 hearing something or other amplifier, over the mail, over the Radio Shack when they were around. I mean, all that type of stuff. And those all sucked. I mean, those all suck. So if you want like an ultra affordable solution for hearing, in general situations, this is awesome and it works great. And again, I hit back on the TV, like these are freaking awesome TV listening devices. Are these better than our GS Bluetooth that we had before? Yes, they are. The Bluetooth is the premium. This is the highest, best Bluetooth that we have. We have the Essential line, and then we have the Essential with Bluetooth on it. That's more of an entry-level, affordable price point. For the Bluetooth side of it, this is the very best you can get on any product out there. I mean, any leading product that you find anywhere on the web, at Best Buy, anywhere. Like, this is the state-of-the-art Bluetooth. So it is a better Bluetooth. It is a better earbud all the way around than our entry-level Essential or Essential with Bluetooth added to it on it. Um, those of you who don't need Bluetooth and you just need Essential, like pay attention because next week we have like a crazy phenomenal deal on that. We have like a very small amount, like a few hundred of those on hand that were packaged up about a month ago in our 2019 packaging instead of our 2020 packaging. They're all brand new. They were all brand new made like a month ago, and we're going to give like a phenomenal deal on those next week. So pay attention to that, and we'll kick that out for you too.
Non-Bluetooth, correct?
Non-Bluetooth, crazy affordable price. You will have the option to do an upsell on it to add Bluetooth into that, but that'll be the entry like we're talking about. If you don't need Bluetooth a whole lot, that's freaking awesome, and the price that you're going to get on that's going to be awesome. So just a teaser for next week of what we're doing. You'll start to see that we come out, and we're going to be asking you guys today, too, to respond on here or on email, as far as like, we're going to start doing really great offers. And so we'd like to get your feedback of what you would like us to see on our line of what is the next unbelievable offer that you'd like to see us do. Like this one at 35 to 50% off, depending on how many you buy. Like that's a freaking awesome offer. And when we got out with our crowd of everybody who was testing it for us and going back and forth, we said like, what should we price these at? They all came back and said $250 to $300. Like everybody came back and said, hands down, $250, $300. We ran many different surveys online. People responded back and said $220 to $300 is what they would pay for something that would do all of that. We kept working on it, saying, no, we want this in as many years as we can, and we kept it below that $199 mark. Or that $200 mark, so that we could help as many people get this in their ears as possible. But to have this to where you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have people who are ordering 6 to 12 of these and giving them out to construction crews, road crews, teams, plumbing teams, electrical, shooting teams, obviously, like you name it. We have people who are buying 6 to 12 of these at a time and passing it out to their crews, and their crews are loving it, so yeah, you can get like a phenomenal deal on this right now, obviously. What's the difference between the GS Extreme and the GS Custom? The GS Extreme is really designed for being able to get a really premium product out to as many people as possible to get them like something really great in their ears for an affordable price. The GS Custom is similar to this product, only it's all custom molded. Like we'll send you out a kit to your home. You can custom mold it easy. We show you a video. We send you a video so you know how to do it. On it, you can do custom molds of your ear, send it back into us. And then we put like 4 high-end audio drivers in there, balanced armature. If you know much about high-end earbuds, like balanced armature is the most high-end speaker you can put inside of earbuds. And it's like super cool. Like if you think Bose or some of these other premium brands, Bang & Olufsen, or some of these other companies that do an awesome job, like if you think that theirs are good, like this blows that away. This is like what we've been doing for a long time. Companies like Ultimate Ears, other companies have been doing for a long time, where it's like quad drivers in there that are super high end, super premium, like the most amazing sound definition, fullness of sound that you can get. Freaking love them. Light your world on fire. I think our price on those is like $549. If you were to go into some of the companies that I just mentioned, they'd be like $1,000 to $1,500 for something comparable, and it wouldn't be wireless. It wouldn't have hearing enhancement. Wouldn't have hearing protection. Wouldn't have 5.0 Bluetooth, obviously, because it's not wireless. So yeah, like the $549 again, we kept that priced so tight, so low. You'll never see us do a 50% off discount on that, because we already did kept that price so low. But we will do some cool offers on it, and if you guys kick us back enough information on it, we'll look to do something like that sooner than later. So that's it. Will it help my directionality? Let you take that one.
Just like any other product, that's that one's kind of a more interesting question, in the sense that everybody hears different and everybody has different types of loss, if any. Directionality, because your brain thinks in stereo, it tries to hear in stereo. And so I get asked a lot of times, do I need to have two, whether it's this type of device, even though this one's on a lanyard, you would have both of them in no matter what. But even on our other product lines that doesn't have a lanyard, they say, well, do I have to have both of them in? Your brain thinks in stereo, you try to hear in stereo. And so directionality is extremely important. And so these will help on that quite dramatically. Again, it's enhancing your hearing. So for those that do have hearing loss, and we see those on a hearing screening where someone has good hearing in one ear and not so good or terrible in the other, these type of devices help because it brings everything pretty much level. So directionality is important, and these will help dramatically.
The next one is which side of the control stick is a Bluetooth? Actually, I would never thought about that before, but we've had so many people, and I have paid attention to it more the last 2 years, but it was our customers who really set how this is. So what we found is when guys would get out there, especially right-handed shooters, which is most of you out there, right? Right-handed shooters like to be able to reach over to their left side and turn the volume of their hearing enhancement up and down. And so we left the control stick for the hearing enhancement on the left side by customer request, by your request on it. And then on this side, on the right side is everything's backward to you on TV, but this is my right side. And this is where the Bluetooth control is. So that's what's up with that.
Actually, very easy to use. You'll get used to just knowing which one's which extremely fast.
These are so awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna freaking love them. What's the battery life like when you use both features at the same time? The hearing enhancement side doesn't really take that much power, so you get like 12 to 14 hours on that. If you're just using hearing enhancement, you get the normal 4 to 5 hours when you're using just Bluetooth audio. But I really haven't, when I'm using both of them at the same time, I'm still getting about the same time that I would from Bluetooth. It hasn't really been that big of a difference for me. I haven't noticed it.
I really haven't, to be honest with you, used both things at the same time that much, just due to that whatever I'm doing at the time, I'm either on the hearing enhancement side of things or on the protection side of things. Yes, it can do both simultaneously, but me, I've used one thing for whatever it is I'm doing at the time. So I can't even truly give an answer. I haven't watched it carefully enough to know battery lifetime with both devices on at the same time.
On the opposite, I like I tell you all the time, like you'll hear it from me forever. That's my favorite feature is being able to have both of them at the same time. Like I was so insistent through the product development of this that we really nailed that and got it right. So I'm almost always using it on both at the same time. And I haven't noticed a difference. In fact, I really haven't run into a day where
Run out of
I've run out of
me
it.
neither.
And I've used them for a lot of different days of like schedules of days of like what we're doing from hunting to shooting to being doing stuff all day long to down at SHOT Show Range Day was one of the recent ones, out. Like whatever it is, I guess that you also can do like a pretty fast charge up on these to get a good amount more, like 20-minute quick charge on it to give you 40% of the play time again. So you can charge them up pretty quick. And I do have guys out there who have been using prototypes of these, some of the first ones for the last 9 months. And like Ray said, they're out doing landscaping all day long. And like that's the best one I could give you is guys who are doing landscaping all day long, or road crew or construction. Like those are the guys who are going to use it the most all day long. And I haven't heard any complaints from them of running out of battery time for what they needed for the day either. So it's pretty well set, I guess. If you're, one second. Hey, Jake, will you give me that power cord, please? Our thing's running out. We're getting close to the end, guys. We appreciate you sticking with us this long. This is awesome. We'll get our groove down on these Facebook Lives and go through. We just had so many questions coming through. It's been unbelievable. I don't remember what the last thing I was talking about. I just realized our computer battery's going low, so we're plugging in here again real quick.
We've been on too long.
Like we told you, we're amateurs. That's our signal that it's time to get off and let you guys get back to your day. But yeah, we appreciate you guys sticking through it. Victor, I'm noticing you're saying that you work in the car business. So, good for you that you're still working and going through all this stuff. This is a crazy moment in time in all my life. I've never seen anything like it. So, we work with car companies too that sell like stereos and speakers, and they're dealers for us because they love the earbuds and they sell that. So if any of you guys have shops where this makes sense, if any of you guys are social influencers, have email lists, like all that type of stuff, you ought to reach out to us at marketing@goaxle.com because we have some pretty amazing offers and some pretty amazing things that you can partner up with us and do things and make money for helping share the story of Axle and what we're doing. In fact, we'll be letting you know about some of that stuff in the next couple of days because we have a lot of really good offers that we're kicking out to people, and they're working very well right now, even in light of this crazy coronavirus. I'm sure most of you know the last 2 to 3 weeks has been the all-time record in American history of gun sales, like number of gun sales, and more than any other time, more than Sandy Hook, more than the Obama effect, more than the Clinton effect, more than all those things. Like we've been selling more guns in the gun industry the last 3 weeks than any other period of time in American history, which is pretty amazing. We also have some pretty amazing offers that are doing really well right now. So if you have stuff like that, want to make extra money, reach out to us, and we'd love to create a business relationship with you and get some things going, get to know you better on it. But trying to see if we've missed anything. I know we could go on questions. We've gotten so many questions. We could go on this for another hour, but we're not going to do that to you. We've answered most of them. We're micro USB port cables wear out too easily. Type C does not have that problem. Thanks, Scott. Duly noted. We'll watch that and see on that what's going on. We haven't run into any problem with the USB cables, and we've been using them for we've been developing this product for about 4 years now. But that's duly noted. Thank you for throwing that out there. We will put that in our notes on it and see just how easy we could change that over. Victor tried the XP Reactor Tacticals for the first time Sunday when I went shooting. Worked great, shooting a 300 BLK. I saw the Bluetooth promo and jumped on it because I wanted to hear more of my surroundings. Thank you, Victor. That's awesome. We appreciate it. Yeah, we really appreciate. You know, it's I watch internet marketers all the time, and they get on there and they say, "Oh, we're doing so good. We're such a great company. We don't need your business. We don't care if you do this or not." That's not the way we feel here. We want you guys to know, like, we truly appreciate everything that you do and interact with us and the business you send our way and all of that. Like, it means the world to us. And as kind of an innovative, crazy mindset, you know, my whole adult life, you know, it's one of the most rewarding things of my career is to travel around the country and have somebody pull out a pair of earplugs that we did on a Kickstarter years ago and say, "Oh my gosh, these go in my bag with me everywhere I go," or they got an earmuff. They're like, "That's in my truck all the time," or, "Yeah, I freaking love these new earbuds," or, "Oh my gosh, you gave me my marriage back in 20 years, extended my hunting career by 20, 30 years because of the hearing aids with protection that you guys make," and guys who have been taken for $5,000 to $8,000 over and over and over again at their local hearing aid clinic and couldn't get the help that they needed, and then they got with us, and for fraction of that cost, we got their hearing back to where they needed them to be. Like, this means a lot to us. You know, interacting with you guys, working with you guys, being able to figure out how to serve you guys at the highest level, like, it means the world to us, and that you would come and choose us for to help you with your hearing and all of that, like, that means the world to us. So just want to call that out to you. We have some really cool things we've been studying for a long time that we're about to launch. We get a lot of you like us who get tinnitus, ringing in ears. We have some really awesome treatments coming out that we're going to be sharing with you here pretty soon that work really well. We're going to be launching ear care line to help you with anything infection-wise, dry, itchy ears, again, ringing in ears, all that stuff. So stay tuned with us, and we will be constantly looking at, like, how can we help you the very highest level for all things hearing, plus a whole nother side of Axle that we're about to introduce to you. So super cool. Thanks again, Victor. That's awesome. I think that's it, right? Scott, last one that we've got on here. I've had poor Bluetooth headphones exhibit audio lag when watching videos on my phone, such as YouTube, Netflix. Please assure me that someone there has checked for that when paired with various phones. We've paired these with a lot of phones, and we've never seen that. We've never had that issue at all. That's a great issue. I'm going to put that in my notes also, along with your Type-C connector on it. I can't tell you that we've tried every single last phone out there, of course. I mean, of course we haven't. But we've tried a lot. You know, we've tried a lot between Android and and iPhone, particularly, we have not had a lag that never even been an issue. That's the best way I can answer that for you. Like we haven't run into that on it. So also, so you guys know, like we're the only company on the planet who gives you a year. Like if you get anything from us and you go down the road, and say, you know what, this just isn't working for me. I want to do something different. Like we'll give you a year to exchange it to anything different that works for you. There's not a company on the planet that does that for you. This screen's throwing me off. It looks my glasses are on 45 degrees. So if I look totally goofy, that is real picture. I am totally goofy, so it's just the way it is. You just have to get used to it. Can't help it. It's kind of
You said it yourself.
the way it is. Right? So yeah, guys, thanks a ton for all your support through this. We wish all of you guys and your families well. Stay tuned for the other cool things that we have coming up on stuff, and take care of yourselves. And thanks again for your support on this. And if you haven't locked in your pair yet, do it quick, because this next shipment's going out. We get it again around April 10th, give or take a couple days. And it will be our whole team's, whole staff's top priority to get these out just as fast as we can. And we're pretty decent at getting a lot of volume out quick. But we have had a lot of orders on it. We're not going to get them all out in 24 hours. It might take us, several days to get it out, but we will be getting it out very fast to you, as fast as possible. And also stay tuned. Stay tuned for our new launch that we're going to introduce. Tell you the exact date on that in the next couple of weeks. Also, those of you who are jumping in on this and you're getting these earbuds from us, stay tuned for what we're planning on a June launch. We may do it sooner, we don't know, but we'll keep you up to date on that for a contest that you can enter as you have those earbuds to do a video with on some different stuff. So thanks again. Have an awesome day and an awesome week, and we'll be in touch with you soon on everything.
And stay safe and stay healthy during this craziness.
Yep, that's it. See. Holy